7-3. Over 30 Chanyuan Celestials taken away by police on July 3. Xiefeng. July 3. Over 30 Chanyuan Celestials taken away by police on July 3. Xiefeng. July 3, 2025. Today, more than 30 Chanyuan Celestials of Life Chanyuan were taken away by police from Shenzhen, Linzhou, Zhengzhou, Shandong, and other regions. Many were taken directly from their workplaces, suddenly suspended from duty and escorted away. The reasons remain unclear, and it is not known when they will be released and allowed to return home. Meanwhile, police also visited the homes of dozens more Chanyuan Celestials, demanding that they write letters of guarantee, repentance, and denunciation, and sign them with fingerprint seals. They were instructed to cut off contact with the outside world, especially to avoid any involvement in Life Chanyuan activities, including accessing Chanyuan's internal network. We thank the government for its keen attention to Life Chanyuan, and for its special care toward the Chanyuan Celestials. Declaration of a Spiritual Turning Point by the Life Chanyuan Guide. Xiefeng. July 4, 2025. On July 3, 2025, under the direction of the Public Security Bureaus of Linzhou and Anyang in Henan Province, Chinese police forces carried out the arrest of nearly 60 Chanyuan Celestials across various regions of mainland China. All things operate within the Tao. This blatant act of injustice is a revelation from the Tao to me. In response to the deepest drive of my heart, I now make the following declaration. From this day forward, I will serve not only those who are spiritually mature and ready for harvest, but also all who suffer pain, oppression, and injustice in this world. For the past 20 years, no matter how deeply wronged I was, I responded only with humility, patience, and endurance. But from now on, I will resist. In the past, Life Chanyuan stood against no government, no political party, no religion, no organization, and no individual. But from this day on, whoever oppresses Chanyuan Celestials, whoever tramples the common people, I will stand against them, and pursue justice to the end. For 13 long years, we silently bore the burden of persecution. 13 poetic and paradisiacal sanctuaries of the second home were destroyed, and the Chanyuan Celestials who had lived peacefully and joyfully within them were forcibly expelled. To this day, many of our vehicles, materials, and personal belongings remain seized and unreleased. Now, on July 3, without any legal justification, Chanyuan Celestials were again arrested and taken from provinces across China. This is intolerable. When even the path of being a decent citizen is blocked, resistance becomes the only path left. No matter what we do, we are treated as powerless victims of persecution. Rather than lie down and be slaughtered like livestock, let us rise and resist, even if it means dying in defiance. I have been driven to take refuge on Yangshan. And now that I have arrived, I will never again compromise, nor will I be deceived by any Songjiang offering surrender veiled as mercy. This declaration reflects only my personal intention and decision. It does not represent any other Chanyuan celestial or individual. Accordingly, I hereby declare, all Chanyuan celestials within mainland China are to formally withdraw from Life Chanyuan. Do not involve yourselves in any of my personal actions. Do not carry burdens or sufferings that were never yours to bear. From this moment on, the former Life Chanyuan is dissolved. Whether or not you choose to withdraw, you are no longer part of it. The Life Chanyuan Soul Home website will no longer be a closed platform limited to Chanyuan Celestials for study, communication, practice, and cultivation. It will be open to the world. 3 months from now, anyone on earth will be welcome to enter and speak freely. To all Chanyuan Celestials who have poured your youth, energy, and heartfelt devotion into the building of Life Chanyuan and the second home, do not fear that your efforts have been in vain. No, they will not be wasted. Just follow the drive of your soul and continue on the path originally laid before you. One day, you will understand, and you will smile. And to the lawless tyrants and brutal oppressors who run rampant across this land, listen well, I will cast each of you into the hell of eternal frost and fire. The net of heaven is vast, but not slack. You will not escape. You will not evade the judgment of the Tao. Your vile deeds and hideous faces have already been recorded. Prepare yourselves, for hell awaits. Look askance at those in power. Series on Resisting Tyranny, Part 1. Xiefeng. July 4, 2025. Nobel laureate in economics Friedrich Hayek once said, "A person who is willing to give up freedom in exchange for security will eventually lose both freedom and security. To gain freedom, security, and dignity, we must rise up against any tyrannical regime that robs the people of these very things. To resist evil governance, we must walk 64 steps. Let us begin, step by step, toward freedom, toward a world united as one family, toward the kingdom of the greatest Creator. Step 1, look askance at those in power. The ones who most deeply and mercilessly oppress the people, while remaining untouchable, are the power holders at every level. These officials eat the people's food, yet turn around to crush them. No matter which level of power they occupy, 99% of them are not good people. They are lice, scorpions, bedbugs, leeches, and horseflies clinging to the heads of the people. From this day forward, let us cast sidelong glances at those in power. Let us call all power holders, from the lowest to the highest, blood-sucking parasites and cowardly scum. What should we do? Whenever you see someone wielding power, say silently in your heart, 'There goes a bloodsucker. That one is a turtle bastard.' Let us stand together and sweep every villain who oppresses the people into the pits of hell. Repay tenfold those who sentenced Chanyuan Celestials." Xiefeng. July 4, 2025. It is said that some Chanyuan Celestials arrested in this operation may soon face sentencing. We know clearly, not a single Celestial taken this time has committed even the slightest trace of any unlawful act. So I urge all Chanyuan Celestials to remember. Those who arrested you, those who detained you, those who sentenced you, and all who participated, record their names, approximate ages, positions, workplaces, home addresses, and other relevant information. Unless they kill us all, we must ensure this information is passed down. When the time comes, we shall repay them tenfold. Let there be no mercy for those scoundrels who trample the law while pretending to uphold it. Resisting Tyranny, Part 2, Sever all ties with evil regimes. Xiefeng. July 5, 2025. Those who exchange glances with snakes and scorpions will, in the end, be bitten by snakes and scorpions. Those who collude with evil regimes will, in the end, be ruined by them. Harsh governance is fiercer than a tiger. Evil regimes surpass even snakes and scorpions in cruelty. When the people cannot live in peace, when freedom, security, and dignity are stripped away, it is all the work of evil regimes. Unless evil regimes are overthrown, the people will continue to suffer. Part 2, Sever all ties with evil regimes. What destroys productivity most? Evil governance. What harms the people most? Evil governance. The greatest lies come from evil governance. The worst policies are crafted by evil governance. To walk with evil regimes is utter ignorance. Only by breaking away from them can one rise again. Relying on the leftovers tossed down by evil regimes is the life of a slave. They parade their power by draining the people's blood and sweat. They produce no wealth, yet they seize and squander it. They are more vicious than bandits, darker than the underworld. Hold not the slightest illusion toward evil governance. Only by cutting all ties can one live as a true human being. How do we sever all ties? From now on, do not sing praises for evil regimes. The stronger an evil regime becomes, the more its people suffer. The more the people suffer, the more those in power profit and entrench themselves. Go in the opposite direction. What evil regimes condemn as illegal is likely the true path. What they call a cult is often the righteous teaching. Whatever they oppose, we must support. Whatever they support, we must resist. What they glorify is surely corrupt. What they persecute is what the people must protect. Despise those who serve as mouthpieces for evil regimes. Those foolish accomplices who sing songs of praise for power. The most ignorant, base, shameless, hateful, and pitiful people under heaven are those who flatter evil rule and cling to its power. Those who shout, "We are leading the world. Look how mighty our country is. Japan is trembling. America is collapsing. How shameless, how laughable, how blind and ignorant they are. They deserve only our contempt." There is a form of evil called the banality of evil. It arises from the average, the ordinary, the mediocre. Those who lack independent judgment and simply obey orders from above. They do not think for themselves. They are like vicious dogs. When the master says, "Bite," they bite, earning just enough to keep their families from starving. They remain blindly loyal to the regime. Take certain police officers, for example. They are ordinary people, born of the common folk. Yet when carrying out orders from above, they act with ruthless obedience. They become tools used to harm others. Groveling to the powerful, yet cruel toward the powerless. What they commit is the banality of evil. Therefore, sever all ties with evil governance. And beware lest you too fall into the trap of committing the banality of evil. I earnestly hope the evil regime labels Life at Chanyuan a cult. Xiefeng. July 5, 2025. I earnestly hope the evil regime labels Life at Chanyuan a cult. Xiefeng. July 5, 2025. The evil regime has already branded Life at Chanyuan as an illegal organization. But that label is far too weak to reflect the true value, significance, and historical standing of Life at Chanyuan. Lately, the regime has been racking its brains, gathering and assembling materials to label Life at Chanyuan as a cult. I welcome this with open arms. To be praised by scoundrels is no honor. To be slandered by them, that is. Whatever the evil regime denounces as wicked is surely good. Whatever it applauds as virtuous is most certainly evil. In this digital age, truth can no longer be buried. The whole world knows, anything that dares to oppose your unjust laws is swiftly labeled an illegal organization, or a cult. To borrow a Buddhist phrase, a cult that is not a cult, thus it is called a cult. I once asked a police officer, "Why do you say Life at Chanyuan is illegal?" He answered, "Because it isn't registered with the government." So I asked him, was the Communist Party registered with the government when it was founded? Did it notify the authorities before meeting on Nanhu Lake in Jiaxing? He had no answer. If the evil regime were ever to praise or support Life at Chanyuan, that would be the end of us. It would mean we become complicit with their wickedness. History would nail Life at Chanyuan to the pillar of disgrace. But if, on the eve of the regime's collapse and disintegration, they persecute us and brand us a cult, then that is a badge of honor. It will stand as clear proof that Life at Chanyuan shares no fellowship with tyranny. Our legacy will endure, remembered through the ages. Many police officers warn Chanyuan Celestials. Xiefeng is scamming people for money and sex. Scamming for money? Please. You can deceive the ignorant and fool a few gullible souls. But you can't fool the Chanyuan Celestials. They are witnesses. Not only have I never taken a single coin from them, I poured my entire life savings into this cause. I lived, ate, and worked side by side with everyone. I spent over 8 years abroad, supporting myself with my own hands. I never touched a cent of the Celestials' contributions. In fact, I earned money for the community. Just last month, I earned the equivalent of 120,000 yuan, roughly $22,000 Canadian dollars, by scrubbing toilets. Every cent went to the collective account. As for seduction, well, that I can't deny. I've always been a man of passion. I affectionately called the women in our community my sisters-in-law and often joked. Brother-in-law and sister-in-law, may they live joyfully for a lifetime. But precisely to protect the dignity and safety of these women, I established one of our core values. Heaven and earth reversed, female celestials are supreme. From that day forward, no man in our community has dared to harass a woman. From that day forward, our women were completely freed from housework. They lived joyfully, freely, with dignity and delight. So did I seduce the women? Or did the women seduce me? It's just like Zhou Yu striking Huang Gai, one is willing to strike, the other is willing to take it. What business is that of the police? Evil regime, hurry up and label life a Chanyuan a cult. Or I fear you'll croak too soon and rob me of the glory and honor such a title brings. Resisting Tyranny, Part 3, Eliminate Inner Fear. Xiefeng. July 5, 2025. The foundation and fertile ground on which evil regimes survive and run rampant is the fear of the people. By wielding guns, knives, and pens, evil regimes incite thugs, gangsters, bandits, and scoundrels, both inside and outside the system, to rule the people through fear. They do this through arrest, detention, freezing bank accounts, confiscating property, forcing people out of work, threatening family members, cutting off economic resources, destroying reputations, labeling people as illegal or cults, charging them with treason, branding them as landlords, rightists, or counter-revolutionaries, demolishing homes, expelling them from their communities, accusing them of picking quarrels and provoking trouble, blacklisting, revoking passports, making people disappear, pushing them to jump off buildings, staging car accidents, sudden deaths, or mysterious illnesses, on and on, in every way imaginable to make people anxious, fearful, and silent. The more fearful the people become, the smoother the evil regime operates. The more the people cower, the more unrestrained the tyranny grows, an endless vicious cycle. Ruling through fear is a time-tested method that evil regimes have used for thousands of years. It's like a mountain bandit shouting at a traveler, "Hand over your money or I'll cut off your head." Frightened, the traveler gives in. Fear is planted by evil regimes. The more we fear, the happier they become, and the more madly they act. Only by eliminating inner fear can we break free from intimidation and allow the people to live in peace and security. Resisting Tyranny, Part 3, Eliminate Inner Fear. Fight evil regimes with their own methods. Kindness can never overcome vulgarity. Civilization alone cannot defeat barbarism. Appealing to evil regimes with morality, reason, etiquette, universal values, compassion, or shame is useless. It's like Zelensky appealing to Putin for the rule of law. What use is that? Evil regimes only understand one thing. If you are stronger, you're the master. If I'm stronger, you're my servant. So what use is fear? Even if we pathetically call them master and beg them for scraps, will they give us a share of anything? For more than a decade, Life at Chanyuan tried to keep its head down and get along. What was the result? The oppression only intensified. And now, it has escalated to outright persecution. In just one day, more than 80 Chanyuan Celestials were arrested in different places. Did fear help? Did cooperating with their unjust laws bring peace? No. Fear only emboldened them, oppression turned into tyranny. So if we wish to break free from oppression, we must first eliminate our fear of evil regimes. At worst, what can they do? Kill us? Torture us? Will wagging our tails and begging for mercy save us? Will that give us eternal life? Turn your fear back onto those who instill it. Throughout history, uprisings against tyrants were effective ways for the people to reverse the fear. Some say, we must not fight barbarism with barbarism, we must use civilization. Nonsense. If that's your so-called civilization, even your great-grandchildren's grandchildren will still be crushed by tyranny. To punish evil and uphold good is the highest law under heaven. Everyone on earth who is oppressed and persecuted has the right, and the responsibility, to do so. Today, evil regimes grip every citizen through a mesh of constant oversight, woven into every corner of daily life. But the most lethal weapon is cutting off a person's means of survival. That is why grassroots charities must step forward and lend a hand, so people can survive first. Once the fear of survival is gone, fear itself begins to fade. Then we can stand tall and say no to tyranny. If survival is no longer possible, let the nearby oppressors taste the fear they've inflicted. A warning to the rest. After all, if there is nothing left to lose, why not stand up and strike once for justice? Resisting Tyranny, Part 4, Support all who resist evil regimes. Xiefeng. July 5, 2025. Today, the greatest enemy facing ordinary people is not natural disasters, not economic downturns, not unemployment or debt, and certainly not sanctions from the United States, but evil regimes. Evil regimes have taken wickedness to its extreme. They are bandits, mobs, gangsters, and bullies. They provoke trouble without cause and commit every imaginable evil. From head to toe, they are rotten through and through. If evil regimes are not eliminated, the world will not find peace. If evil regimes are not eliminated, no one will feel secure. If evil regimes are not eliminated, starting a business becomes a struggle. If evil regimes are not eliminated, debts will only pile up. If evil regimes are not eliminated, we will be besieged on all sides. If evil regimes are not eliminated, misfortune will strike at any moment. If evil regimes are not eliminated, their shadows will never leave us. If evil regimes are not eliminated, there will be no way forward. Therefore, all who resist evil regimes are saviors of the people, bringers of blessings, saints worthy of our respect, love, support, and admiration. No matter who they are, regardless of their background, profession, gender, or age. If they resist evil regimes, they are heroes in our eyes, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in our hearts. Support all who resist evil regimes. At the forefront are the Falun Gong practitioners. They have stood firm, made their position clear, borne the heaviest burden, and contributed the most. They deserve full support. Years ago, we believed the regime when it labeled Falun Gong a cult. Now, as this same regime fabricates charges and arrests Chanyuan Celestials nationwide, trying to brand Life a Chanyuan a cult, we have come to realize the truth. The real cult is the regime itself. It is not only a cult in the truest sense. It is an illegal organization in every way. The Tiananmen heroes of June 4, 1989, suffered inhuman repression and torment. For more than 3 decades, they and their families have continued to resist the regime in every way they can. Their courage and perseverance deserve recognition and support. Believers of Catholicism, Christianity, Buddhism, and Islam have long faced persecution. Yet they have never ceased resisting, for the sake of their inner faith and sacred beliefs. They endure hardship and oppression, silently praying and meditating in resistance. Many have chosen self-immolation to express their devotion to heaven and their deepest protest against tyranny. We must support them. We must support all who live by true faith. For those with true faith never collude with evil regimes, whether self-exiled or forced to flee. Millions of intellectuals, entrepreneurs, scholars, artists, and emerging talents have left their homeland. 99% of them are people of thought, culture, insight, and ability. The backbone of society. With tears in their eyes, they left their homeland for freedom and safety. For decades, they have worked tirelessly to expose the truth and awaken public consciousness. They deserve our respect and support. From all walks of life and across all regions, brave individuals have risen. Like the hero Peng Zizhou, who hung banners from Beijing's Sitong Bridge to protest tyranny. For the sake of freedom, dignity, and the people, they have dared to confront the regime head-on. There are now too many such heroes to count. They, too, deserve our respect and support. We do not ask where they came from. We do not ask what their original intentions were. As long as someone resists the evil regime, even if all they do is quietly curse it under their breath, that alone is rare and valuable. Such people deserve to be respected, supported, and protected. They should receive financial assistance when needed. Those who sacrificed their lives resisting tyranny should be honored with monuments and remembered for generations. Their parents, spouses, and children should be provided with the basic necessities of life. Those left disabled in the struggle against tyranny should be supported for life by the entire nation. For the sake of safety, for the sake of freedom, for the people's right to live in peace, and for the dignity of humanity. We salute all who resist evil regimes. Resisting Tyranny, Part 5, Make a Record of Evil Regimes. Xiefeng. July 6, 2025. Appealing to the conscience of those without conscience is futile. Hoping an evil regime will suddenly grow a conscience is like trying to catch fish by climbing a tree. When a wolf devours a sheep, it feels satisfaction. When an evil regime suppresses and persecutes the people, it feels delight. So any resistance that does not strike at the root of such evil is ineffective. Petitioning, ranting online, exposing the truth, marching in protests, handing out leaflets, hanging banners. These may stir up some noise, but they do not achieve the aim of dismantling the evil regime. Petitioning is like reporting a nephew's crimes to his uncle. Not only will nothing come of it, but the uncle will warn the nephew about who's trying to cause trouble. Cursing online is pointless. An evil regime is shameless, insults have no impact. Would a crocodile care if you scold it for swallowing a fawn alive? Will an evil regime restrain its evil deeds just because you expose the truth? Its attitude is simple: I'm a thug, who can stop me? It doesn't care whether the truth is revealed or not. As for demonstrations and mass protests, unless they shake the regime's foundation on a nationwide scale, it doesn't care. It will send in thousands of police and paramilitary officers to crush it with ease. If necessary, the military will be called in. Once machine guns and tanks start firing, the crowds will scatter. The leaders will be arrested, or fall from high places. And the fiery movement will vanish overnight. So where do we begin in resisting evil regimes? Resisting Tyranny, Part 5, Keep a Record of the Evil Regime. Even the wildest beasts, tigers, lions, bears, will flee when they sense danger. So too will the enforcers of evil, though they are even more brutal than wild animals. Do not underestimate their intelligence, their perception, or their keen sense of danger. Once they sense that they've been targeted by hunters, they will run. This is their nature, their instinct. Keeping a record is about making them feel danger drawing near. So they start to restrain their violence, suppress their demonic nature, and curb their beastly instincts. But how do we do it? Understand this first. Listing the regime as a whole carries little weight. The real impact comes from recording specific individuals. Whoever hurt you, exploited you, or persecuted you, record them. Whether it's a police officer, a party secretary, a security guard, a bureaucrat, a village official, a demolition crew worker, or an urban enforcement officer, put their name on the list. Don't excuse them just because they claim, "I was only following orders." Ignore their excuses. They are the ones who directly harmed you. They have committed what Hannah Arendt called the banality of evil. To do evil is to commit a crime. Remember. Focus only on the direct enforcers and perpetrators. Don't worry about who gave the orders or devised the plans behind the scenes. Those people are hidden from view, and their actions are beyond your reach. Most of the regime's executioners may appear to be ordinary people. But it is precisely these ordinary helpers who make the regime's evil possible. Eventually, these accomplices will reveal the names of the planners and masterminds. In the hope of reducing their own punishment. What should the record contain? Name. Gender. Approximate age. Home address. Occupation. What they did to you, specifically. When and where it happened. You don't need to confront them. In many cases, you can't. Just record everything in detail. Then find a way to upload it to a evil regime's record book website. So it is documented and preserved, awaiting future judgment. Even if you die, the record remains. Justice will find you. Someone will clear your name and avenge your suffering. We earnestly call on those with technical skills and resources to create this evil regime's record book. Such a website would be a noble act. A sacred mission to rescue the people from suffering. Your merit will shine through the ages. Generation after generation will remember your name. And honor you with reverence. Resisting Tyranny, Part 7, Keep Your Distance from Officials. Xiefeng. July 6, 2025. From high-ranking central authorities and provincial ministers, to township secretaries, village chiefs, neighborhood directors, police station heads, and political instructors, every one of them is a cog on the steamroller of an evil regime. These cogs are not merely tools of tyranny, they are its enforcers, its accomplices, and part of its very machinery. Without these lackeys, the countless tragedies and horrors that plagued the people would not have been possible. Why has China endured thousands of years of people oppressing and devouring one another? The root lies in this: the common people both fear and resent officials, yet also flatter them, cling to them, and secretly long to become one of them. As long as this shadow remains in people's hearts, evil regimes will continue endlessly, and the people will never taste the true dignity and joy of being human. If you are not an official, then you are the people. And as one of the people, you must stay far from officials, otherwise, you will become the scapegoat of tyranny. Those who draw near to power often end up as the regime's attack dogs and sycophants. The frontline butchers who carry out the oppression and persecution of their fellow citizens. Resisting Tyranny, Part 7, Keep Your Distance from Officials. Do not invite officials to your gatherings. Do not give them gifts, congratulations, or birthday wishes. Unless absolutely necessary, do not travel with them. Do not sit at the same table with them. Do not toast them. Do not applaud their speeches. Do not hold umbrellas for them. Do not open their car doors. Do not speak in their defense. Do not praise or glorify any official. Do not flatter or fawn over them. Do not seek favors or benefits from them. Do not believe a word of their hollow official speeches. And while tyranny reigns, never become an official yourself. To every citizen who has suffered injustice, listen to this one piece of advice. Do not stand on the same side as those in power. Do not trade your dignity for crumbs of privilege. Do not sell your soul for temporary gain. Do not lose your backbone just to curry favor. Because under the rule of an evil regime, those who cozy up to officials will one day be filled with bitter regret. Resisting Tyranny, Part 8, Break Free from the Rule of Evil Regimes. Xiefeng. July 6, 2025. Let us begin with a scene. On October 23, 2022, at the closing session of the 20th National Congress of the Chinese Communist Party, Hu Jintao was forcibly removed from the conference hall. There were 2,338 officials present, yet not a single man stood up to speak for him. Not even Li Keqiang, Hu Jintao's protégé, stood to protest, nor even rose to bid him farewell. The entire hall sank into silence. Blank stares. Lifeless eyes. Heavy expressions. Still as statues, too afraid to even breathe. Now ask yourself. Can a nation be led toward prosperity, civility, and peace by such a crowd, spineless, timid, self-serving, and unwilling to stand up for what is right? Before the people, these so-called representatives puff up their chests, posturing, pontificating, putting on airs, as if they were men of great stature. But before power, they grovel like pets, worse than pets. What fills their hearts? Fear, silence, self-interest, never justice, never courage. Can we rely on such people? Relying on them means turning the Chinese dream into a nightmare. That is why we must break free from the rule of evil regimes. Resisting Tyranny, Part 8, Break Free from the Rule of Evil Regimes. Do not believe their lofty speeches or solemn promises, not a single word, not even a punctuation mark. What they say above the table and what they do beneath it are two entirely different things. Do not watch their television. Do not browse their websites. Do not listen to their speeches. Do not read their newspapers, magazines, or articles. Let them do what they do. We, the people, must do what we must. Go against the tide. Whatever they promote, resist it. If they march east, we walk west. Whatever they praise, know it is a lie and a deception. Every loss, economic or personal, suffered under their rule must be repaid. They governed the country. They made the policies. They caused the mortgage and car loan defaults. They orchestrated the collapse of investments and savings. So calculate, line by line, what you've lost under their tyranny. And when the time comes, make them pay. Only by drawing a clear line between ourselves and these evil regimes. Only by breaking free from their control. Can the people at last live lives of joy, freedom, and true happiness. Resisting Tyranny, Part 9, Making Money is Meaningless Under Evil Rule. Xiefeng. July 7, 2025. To all who are wholeheartedly chasing money. Have you truly found a life of joy, freedom, happiness, and peace through your earnings? If the answer is yes, then by all means, keep making money. But if your answer is no, do you know why? If you rely on wages to survive, whether working for private bosses or the government, you likely have little to your name. Your income barely sustains your basic needs. And once a major illness or misfortune hits, you're swallowed by the swamp, with little chance of escape. If you run a small business or shop, rising early and working late, exhausting your mind and body, you might barely earn a modest sum each year. One wrong move, inventory piles up, you're scammed, or harassed by local thugs, and suddenly you're losing money, forced to shut down. And what about medium or large business owners? If you've made money, why are so many of you desperately trying to emigrate? If you haven't, are you now buried in debt? How many once wealthy people have suddenly gone broke, or even lost their lives? Everyone who focuses solely on making money is like the blind. Look at the officials. They're not slaving away day and night for money, yet their bank accounts, homes, food, and clothing are far superior to those of ordinary people. Under the rule of an evil regime, no matter how hard you work, you'll either make nothing, or what you earn will be swindled, extorted, frozen, or outright stolen. Think of the rural bank deposits that vanished into thin air. The P2P investments where people lost everything. Those who bought Evergrande properties watched them turn into abandoned construction sites. The 6 wallets emptied to buy a house, then paying monthly tribute to the bank. Spending thousands each month to hire a tutor for your child. Can you really make money under such a system? And even if you do, can you keep it? Even if you have savings in the bank, can you withdraw $80,000 or $100,000 easily? Can you guarantee that your deposit is still yours? If one day it disappears, what can you do? The truth is, the money you earn might not even be yours. In fact, not even your own organs are guaranteed to be yours. What is the root cause of all this? Evil regimes. If evil regimes are not removed, making money is meaningless. Have you ever raised chickens? Toss a handful of grain into the coop, and they scramble over one another to grab it. When hens grow up, they must lay eggs for the hand that feeds them, or they end up on the dinner table. When roosters grow fat, one stroke takes their lives. So, money chasers, aren't you like those chickens, scrambling for feed? If you get some, tragedy still awaits. If you don't, it's even worse. Under evil rule, unless you're a bird that grabs a little and flies over the wall, you are just meat on the chopping block. Resisting Tyranny, Part 9, Making money is meaningless under evil rule. Those who encourage others to pursue money, who exalt the power of wealth, are messengers of demons. Do not start a business. Once you do, suffering follows. Do not chase wealth through speculation, you are digging your own grave. Do not envy the rich, their burdens are heavier, their sorrows deeper. So what if you have no money? There is still one path open to the people of this world. The path toward Xifeng-style communism. Why does the evil regime seek to crush life at Chanyuan? Why arrest kind, law-abiding, hard-working Chanyuan Celestials? Because life at Chanyuan is building a new way of life, Xifeng-style communism. And within it, evil regimes have nothing to exploit.